be real naturally soothing is soothing to us, individually.
Yeah, I think maybe if you listen to something so many times that you know it, your brain doesn't have to turn on to it. It's that all you get is sort of the emotional aspect of it, and you get that good feeling. And because it's an album, it's never going to change. You know exactly what's coming. It's a safe place. Mm-hmm. And with something like with Megadeth or with Guns N' Roses or something like that, there is so much sound happening at once. It sort of takes up all of the space, that you might get from, something as simple as the, your oil heater turning on in the basement, and your heat kicking in, or a drip in the sink or something. Like there's no longer any room for that in your ears because they're sort of they're firing on all cylinders. I don't know. It's a theory. I'm not a scientist. Why'd you call me? I'll tell you. Hey, never mind.
We did have Johnny Sonic here, and he's a dentist, even though he claims he's not. He says it's his brother. I still haven't seen the evidence yet, but so we can have somebody who claims that they're not a doctor, but who is a doctor. So now you're our doctor of auditory phenomenon. How about that?
I mean, it's a big role to step into. I'd rather be the Ed McMahon, but
well, see, I thought maybe we'd call you like on Pawn Stars, how we're going to call in an expert to ask about this piece of music, and you would just come in and say, "Yep, sounds good," and then leave again. That's music, all right.
It's like all you wanted was a thumbs up on your guy.
That'd be perfect.
I do. Oh my gosh, that Pawn Stars is it's so funny. It's not a must watch thing, but if it's on, I will always just watch a little bit of it, because when it says, I got a guy I'd like to call about this. What's great is that it's so formulaic, but they're completely in the right. It's, I don't know. This guy does. He lives for this crap. Let's get this done. And the guys that come in, they're always just like cheerful as anything. It's
they're so
amazing.
Pleased to be like showing off their knowledge about it. They're like, hey, yeah, this thing is great.
Yeah. Yes, I've been validated finally, Mom. Oh well, this Babe Ruth baseball card isn't original. It is a reprint, and you can see there's a lot of boxing on the edges. This was actually reissued in 1964. They were made, but he's got a huge smile on his face all the time because he's just like, this is the thing I know. This is the thing I know.
God.
By the way,
it's kind of, hey, speaking of promotion, it actually is it's kind of the feeling that you get, as we talked, it's so hard to kind of get your message out when you say, what do you do? I'm a musician. You got a band? Yeah, I got a band. No one knows what that means, because anyone can say they're anything these days. It doesn't matter. There's nothing to back it up until it says, hey, come to my show, or download the 20 tracks I have on iTunes, or whatever. And even then, it doesn't mean it's going to be good. You sort of have to, put your stamp on it and guaranteed. So when you get into it with somebody who's talking and say, I really like this. If somebody says, I love Cheap Trick. It's like, oh yeah? Oh, now we can talk. and to be able to nerd out about that kind of stuff, I don't think you should ever be, you should never apologize for something that you're passionate about, ever.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we're all in agreement about that.
but finding this venue is not the easiest thing to do in the world. So if it's toy trains, dude, awesome. And I'd also like to know more about toy trains. Because why wouldn't I? It's fascinating. It's amazing. They're tiny, and they work.
How do they do it?
What else happened?
Magnets, how do they work?
This is magnets.
Oh, I think it's about. Oh, I think it's that time that we have to look for the upcoming shows. Shells.
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
All right, so we know that May the 4th is next Wednesday. So
And it will be with you.
Yes, it will be with you. It definitely will. And what else do we have? Let me go on my Facebook real quick. I was so intrigued in Sean's comments that I...
Dr. Sean.
Dr. Sean,
Dr.
that's
Sean.
right. He's now Dr. Sean now. Oh, let me go into my
You're
Facebook.
You're nothing if not kind. I'll tell you that. What kind that is, we'll figure out.
Okay. All right, so here we go. May the 4th be with you, always. We got, on May 11th, we have Arctic Angela from St. Louis, Missouri. We will be talking about, of course, their music, and we've been going back and forth what kind of topic that we want to go through, but one of them has to be a death in the band. How do you guys, go through that transition when a band member passes away?
Oh, you should call me back.
Well, you're on the chat room, so you can.
And you can call in, too. You can call in, too.
Yeah.
I actually died twice. No, actually, I'm being completely serious.
No, I've died 3 times, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was August 2014.
No, what's the
Flatline
circumstances?
twice.
What's the circumstances with that? I mean, if you
Flatline
don't mind
twice.
asking.
Completely out. Like
Wow.
Dunsky.
Yeah.
Was it just like an accident kind of thing, or was it just like?
Yep. Yeah,
Wow.
I had a freak accident. And I fell. I was in my bathroom, and it was early in the morning. It was like a Tuesday morning. And I was in the bathroom, and I had really low blood pressure, and
no.
I have kind of a trick knee. I hyperextended my knee playing football in high school, and it's never been quite right. It's been fine, but not normal. And the combination of the two, my knee locked up, I started to lose consciousness, and I fell back, and I put my arm up. I know how to fall. I've actually been trained how to fall. And I put my arm up, but that left my ribs exposed, and I fell onto a pre-war clawfoot tub, and it fractured my ribs, spiral fractured them in the front and the back, which eventually punctured my kidney.
Oh, good Lord.
Ooh, boy.
So I got to a point where I couldn't move, and my neighbor, my downstairs neighbor, called 911 for me. They took me to a hospital. I was barely conscious. They then said, you've lost some blood, your blood pressure is no good, we're going to give you a transfusion. That I remember. They gave me a transfusion, and then a woman came in. I swear to God, by the way, you guys watch Archer?
Nah, I want to. I haven't got a chance yet.
Okay. This is like if Aisha Tyler were a doctor. This woman walked in, and I was scared of her a little bit.
Oh, wow.
And she says, I have to take you to the ER right now. We have to go. And I said, why? She says, because you're bleeding out. You're going to die in a couple minutes.
Ooh, that's not what you want to hear.
Yeah. So I went and had the surgery. They cut me open from sternum to waistline, and they removed my kidney. And then after that, I had a slew of problems. So run them through really quick. I had an infection, like a kind of whole body infection thing.
Wow.
Then an upper respiratory infection. Then a collapsed lung.
Yikes.
And it turns out they were giving me a blood thinner that everybody gets when they go to the hospital called heparin that I am extremely allergic to.
Oh.
And the combination of all of those gave me a heart attack.
Oh, no.
So while friends and family were trying to get me moved to a better hospital, and they said, we don't move people in his condition, I had a heart attack, like literally while the conversation was happening.
Oh, wow.
And they said, we're not equipped to deal with this, we're moving him. They moved me completely unconscious for most of this, and then started to get better. I was intubated for a lot of it, collapsed lung being a big deal. Couldn't speak, and then didn't even have the motor function to write, so I could barely communicate. Then they gave me a tracheostomy so that I could start to eat again, and was on a 24-hour watch on a machine that monitors your breathing. And I got to tell you this, if you spent years training yourself to breathe in a certain way, like if you're a singer, that machine is not the thing that you need. Your breath control is actually better than whatever it thinks you have. Made it through 24-hour period, so I was in CCU, then ICU, then they moved me to medicine for about a week, then moved me to rehab, where I learned how to walk again. Because I had so much, I was down for so long that I had neuropathy, which is nerve damage, which started at where your chest is, where your heart is in your chest, and goes all the way down through all your extremities.
Wow.
And I'm actually still recovering from that.
Wow.
My left foot is kind of tingly all the time.
Wow.
And in all of that, I crashed out at least twice that I remember. I don't know how many times there were.
Wow.
Well, see, it doesn't get too much more rock and roll than that. So
No,
kudos to you for
not.
still being here.
For sure.
So that was
being able to talk to us about it.
August 2014, and I was still on dialysis because I only had one kidney left. In January of 2015, I want to say, January or February, when I came back and did my first rehearsal back with the band.
Wow.
And Mott's was calling me sort of because, so actually maybe you should talk to Mott's instead of me, because Mott's was talking to everybody and trying to figure out, first of all, what happens when you lose him, because I had friends fly in from other countries because they thought I wasn't going to make it.
Wow.
It's legit. I think I'm in a journal somewhere. No joke. I ended up at Bellevue, and it's a teaching hospital for NYU.
Mm-hmm.
So half the staff is hospital staff, and half the staff is NYU medical staff. And twice a day they do their shifts. They do the 12-hour shifts, and they've got all of the students. And they would pull my chart from outside my door, and you'd always hear the doctor go, "Oh yeah, so here's one," and run through it. And slowly but surely, it would start from the last. They sort of form a circle around the doctor. The last person out, and then it started to move inward. One by one, they would just sort of lean back and give me a cocked eye and look at me like, "Why are you still alive?" And this happened for months. It was hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe talk to Mott's about it, because we had a conversation. I said, I want to continue. In fact, the reason they gave me the tracheostomy was they said, you're a singer, and the more that we intubate you, the more it's going to screw up your vocal cords.
Ooh.
And so there's chances that you'll never be able to sing again. And Mott's friend Barnes, I think was Barnes, said, yeah, I had a friend that went in, was in a coma, and never spoke again.
Oh, dude.
It just messed him up. So he said, hey, come in and I had to drive in from Connecticut. I get driven